Good afternoon, everybody. This is Boomersdaddy with Spreadsheet Sports coming to you with a new addition to our NCAA college football content. This is going to be the NCAA Thursday Throwdown, and basically what we're going to do is go over some plays that are going to help you on some of the main slates over the weekend. The slate that we're actually going to go over today is tonight's slate, and the reason for that is there are so many games on tonight's docket that we are going to be able to have a very, very good sweat on a Thursday night, which is very, very unique for the college football season. Normally we have 3 or 4 games, but there's not some of the big schools that are playing. They don't normally play on Thursday nights like they are going to do tonight. So got a couple more plays that I want to outline other than the ones that were in my article. Obviously, if you want more in depth on why I like those plays, then you can refer back to that. But this is going to kind of expand on that a little bit more. And basically, the reason is because if I try to outline every single play that I liked for you guys in my article, it would take you almost an hour and a half to actually read. So going to make it short, quick, and easy and through the point. So a couple other plays I like at quarterback tonight. Obviously, Trayvon Boykin is one of the top quarterbacks in the country. He's always going to be in play. The question is what is his ownership percentage going to be in cash games? Obviously, he's your top quarterback. In GPPs, I think there's some merit into fading him as long as you're fading him because of the right reasons. And what I mean by that is you're not fading him because you think he's going to have a bad game. You're fading him because you think that somebody else who's at a lower ownership percentage is going to be able to not really outperform him, but put up enough points to where it doesn't put you so much in the hole to where you're going to have to make it up in a lot of other places. You can just make it up in 1 or 2 spots. So that's going to be the question that you have to answer for yourself. Is it going to be worth it for you to do? For me, it is. In GPPs, I'm going with Marquise Williams on a lot of my teams. I just think he's in a very, very good position. I like it. It's a high total. It's a low spread. Obviously, you can see the reason why in my article. As far as other skill positions on TCU, I like Aaron Green, Josh Doxson, Deontay Gray, and Buck Jones. Buck Jones is one of those hybrid tight ends. He's going to line up in the backfield. He's going to line up in the slot. He's going to line up outside. He's going to line up in tight. He's got a lot of different options that they're going to be able to do. They mix and match it. They come at you from all sides with TCU, and it's going to allow you to really, really kind of exploit a lot of different matchups. The problem with TCU, like we see with some of these other big school teams around the country that run these spread type offenses, is they spread the ball around. So really, it's a game of roulette when you're choosing between some of these teams or some of these skill positions early on, because you don't really know who the breakout guy of the year is going to be, who the favorite target of the new quarterback is going to be, because they're spreading the ball around. We see that with Washington State. We see that with Texas Tech. I think OU is going to be a lot like that at times this year. I think that we've seen that over the years with obviously Texas A&M and a lot of these other teams around the country that do this. Is they have the ability to have a lot of different people contribute to that offense. So I think that's exactly what is going to be like again this year with TCU. But obviously they've got some returning studs that you can bank on having good games. So kind of look at that. Another game I like is the Utah-Michigan game. We've seen with Jim Harbaugh teams, or John Harbaugh. We've seen with Harbaugh teams. I get those guys mixed up from time to time. That they tend to progress throughout the year. We know what he's capable of. We know what he did with Stanford. We know what he did with the Niners. He is a very, very, very good football coach. he will have Michigan back up competing for national championships very soon. I don't think it's this year. They have talent. They have Michigan type talent, but is it going to, are they going to be able to put it together for the first game of the year? This is one of those situations where I'm really hesitant to do a lot of things with, because we don't know how Michigan's going to perform. They're on the road in Utah. We don't know how Utah State's going to perform. It could be an absolute blowout, and Michigan could just run away with it. They're only they're 6-point dogs right now, but Michigan could come out and blow them out of the water. Utah could come out and just blow Michigan out of the water. Or it could be a tight game that we end up going to the fourth quarter. For fantasy purposes, that's what we want. Unfortunately, this total is only a 45.5 point total. In college football, that's low. But there are some players I do like from both sides of this game. For Utah, I like Travis Wilson. He's not going to have Kendall Thompson actually looking over his shoulder. Kendall Thompson's still recovering from a knee injury that he suffered last year. So he's not going to have him looking over his shoulder. So it is Travis Wilson's team to start out this year. He can make some play with his legs. He can make some play with his arm. And he's got some good skill positions to be able to actually contribute. I like Devontae Booker as well. I think he's one of the most dynamic players in the country, and I just think he gets overlooked because he goes to Utah. So for Michigan, I like Ty Isaac. I think that if you're going to bank on something from a Michigan team this year, it's going to be that they want to run the ball. They want to ease in that quarterback. They want to establish the running game. They want to control the clock, and they'll mix and match it. Now, that does not say that they don't have talent at the wide receiver position, that they could not end up throwing the ball all over the place, especially if they get down. They could end up putting up some great numbers from a quarterback position. But we're going to try to predict the unpredictable here, and I think the only thing we can predict with this Michigan team is that they are going to try to establish a running game. So Ty Isaac is a sneaky GPP play for me. So another quarterback I like is Thomas Sirk. He had some work last year. He had some work around the goal line with his legs. He's taking over the full-time duties now, and his arm is still improving. He could end up leading the country in a lot of different categories, but we don't know what it is yet. But what we do know is he does have the ability to escape the pocket and run with the ball and make some plays with his legs downfield. So I do like Thomas Sirk. If he can establish a nice rhythm in the passing game and hit some intermediate to longer range throws, then he could end up having an extremely good game. But Thomas Sirk is a sneaky punt play at quarterback for GPPs, and I think he's going to be a very good quarterback this year. So for Arizona, obviously they've got it's not even up there anymore. Oh, sorry, it is. It is now a 31-point spread. This is a 61-point total. UTSA has 3 returning starters. 3. Got to have fun with that. This is where it pays to know your depth charts. This is where it's going to pay to actually kind of predict who's going to spell some time in the first half, but who's going to get a lot of run and a lot of looks in the second half. Remember, these teams are still early in the season. They want to see what these guys can do in game situations. So they are going to kind of, as they start to pull away, they're going to start to put in their backups so they know what they have in these teams. You're going to want to know who these backups are and watch them throughout the year, because when these teams are playing these cookie cutters and these teams get to large leads with large spreads, then you can end up capitalizing off of the fact that they're not a known name. They're not the starter. Remember, everybody's coming off of baseball. Everybody's coming off of NBA, where opportunity equals fantasy production. Well, we know that, but in GPPs, it's worth it every once in a while with these large spreads to say, okay, he might not get his opportunity to start the game, but guess what? By the end of the game, he's going to outproduce that starter, because since the team doesn't want to hurt that starter, he's going to get more production and more opportunity. So that is a good way to attack the college football with GPPs, is finding these backups and knowing the depth chart to have the ability to capitalize off of chaos. And chaos in this matter is stuff absolutely going crazy, and teams scoring oogles and oogles of points and having that done. So with that, I like Samaje Grant from Arizona. I like some of these backup wide receivers as well. You can definitely capitalize off of that. And so Samaje Grant is probably my top play out of Arizona. I think it's inevitable. It's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when they start to get a lot of these backups some work. So some other okay. Ohio and Idaho. This game it's a total of 58. It's only a touchdown difference, so it's a close game. We got to get back into football mindset where a touchdown is a close game. Yes, a field goal is closer, but a touchdown is a close game. That's one possession. That's one score. So with Ohio and Idaho, we can combine these and really produce a good outlook of what's going to happen. AJ Ouellette for Ohio, Elijah Penny for Idaho. They're two really good running backs that score a lot of touchdowns. I think they're both fine in both cash game and GPPs. So, guys, that's it for me today. Look for some more college football stuff tomorrow. It's going to actually go over Saturday morning slate because these sites haven't put out their Saturday evening contest yet. So that's the one that we're going to actually take advantage of and go over tomorrow. So keep a watch out for that. And until tomorrow, guys, good luck tonight. Have fun, and let's make some money.